I can't do these intros.
Why not?
So you can't look at me like that. You have to look away.
I'll do the intro. Look away. The podcast nice and naturally. Yeah, you're alright, mate. How's it going?
No, I didn't notice that camera there.
No, me neither. Fucking
hell. Someone start this. So the boys. we just watched the Hungarian Grand Prix on the same day, and again, that's another podcast where we watched it the same day. I didn't think it was that exciting, personally.
Straight into
what were
it,
your
wow.
thoughts?
I think the weekend overall was pretty exciting. I think we saw a bit of a mixed up grid compared to normal. We saw a different pole sitter.
We did.
We saw Lewis Hamilton up there, not for very long. And we saw the McLarens, the fact that they've still been able to, on a different track, on a shorter track, they've still been able to pull out the bag. We've seen Ferrari be Ferrari, and we've seen Alpine continue their form. So,
yeah, back-to-back DNFs.
How about you?
Yeah, I would echo mostly the same points. Interesting that where we, some of the characteristics has upset some of the cars, like the Williams, for example. But the McLarens seemed unfazed, so it's been peculiar because I don't know what they've done to give them both the straight line speed, the high speed corner speed, and then they've obviously done well in low speed today. So,
well, that's probably we did joke about. There's been news come out about the cost cap. 3 teams could be in breach, and we think one of them might be McLaren because they're so quick.
This is purely
McLaren, Aston Martin, and Red Bull. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, it certainly isn't Ferrari, is it?
No. Yeah. Knowing them, it probably is. They've probably gone over and still somehow managed to fuck it up.
They spent all the money on strategies.
Yeah.
That's what they've done.
And pit crew. 10-second stops.
Yes. So Norris, our Lord and Saviour.
Lando Norris.
And Piastri.
Yeah.
P5.
Yeah, Piastri can't be left out of the conversation, even though he was P5.
Well,
I think he was to bleep that out.
Because now we're going to start bleeping that out.
yeah.
I think he was messed over again with the pits. I think I went too early, didn't he?
Do you think?
Yeah.
Pretty conclusive. Oh yeah, we'll see you next week.
What does everyone else think?
I think that Lando's outlap was clearly unreal.
Yeah, Lando just drove quicker.
I don't think it's just that. I still think that Lando should have been the first to pit because he was behind, and in other teams it's usually whoever's leading gets preferential strategy treatment. It seems as though Lando's had preferential strategy treatment, but when you consider the time difference, you could say that the undercut was powerful, but we didn't see it that powerful from anyone else. So I think you've got to then put that down to how well Lando drove.
What I would say to that is last week, when it was Lando leading and Piastri was behind, they box the person who is behind first to test the tyres or to, I don't know what they do. But it's usually the person who isn't leading that boxes first, which is what they did.
But it depends what the best strategy is, dependent on the track. So if they knew that the undercut was powerful, then preferential treatment would have been to give whoever was leading the first.
Do you think maybe, obviously Piastri's rookie season, do you reckon they just think that
Lando's the lead driver?
No, they know Norris is probably going to be driving better than him.
Yeah, and he did. At the end, I mean, obviously Piastri got overtaken by Perez and Hamilton, whereas Norris was able to fend off both of them. Bearing in mind, after the pit stop, there was only a couple of seconds between them. Lando got up the road, whereas Piastri was overtaken by both.
Right.
So, for the team decision...
It was probably the better decision.
Yeah, literally.
It was interesting, though. I mean, it was weird, because Piastri's mediums at the end, he was 20-something seconds off Hamilton at the end, wasn't he? Something like that. He was quite far
Piastri.
off. Maybe not 20 seconds, but he was...
No, I think you're right.
Was it?
I think
seriously?
Genuinely, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, seriously, I think it
was
was
I'm not making this
the
up.
I think the top 4. There was obviously like a ridiculous gap between Verstappen and Norris of like 30 seconds. And then between Hamilton and Piastri, there was another like 20 seconds.
So do you reckon he just gave up, maybe thinking, he's not gonna be overtaken, but he's not gonna make an overtake. So maybe he was just playing it safe.
Managing tyres for the rest of the race. Whereas Hamilton was pushing towards the end, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that would have that gap between him and Perez just got eaten up towards the end. So
it was great to see that we did say that we would never, after Silverstone, we wouldn't question McLaren's strategy ever again.
And here we are questioning.
Unbelievable for McLaren. Like, just 2 races in there. They could catch Ferrari, to be honest.
Yeah.
If they continue at the rate they are, absolutely.
They're about 100 points off, aren't they?
80 points.
80 points, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, bear in mind, we're not even halfway through the season yet. And looking at the pace deficit Ferrari have now, which is crazy to think. Like,
nice little segue into Ferrari strategy.
Oh yeah.
What you could do there.
I was just going to say quickly. I think with Spa coming up, I think it suits McLaren a lot more as well.
Oh yeah.
That track. So
yeah.
But yeah, Ferrari. Lol.
Everything went wrong for them, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, except from Sainz's start.
I knew that was going to happen. Moving on. Go on.
Sainz had an unreal start, didn't he?
Yeah.
He started 13th on softs, and after lap 1 he made up to about P8 or something, P7.
Yeah, I mean that's because partly because Joe's car just didn't start.
Joe didn't start his car, I think.
Because I thought he'd gone into anti-stall, but it didn't even look like that.
Mate.
Apologies for the sirens.
There's one in every episode. It's just part of it now.
Part and parcel.
Yeah.
For the where was it? Oh yeah.
Ferrari.
No, the Joe getting bogged down at the start.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd gone into anti-stall, but he just didn't even seem to put his foot down until a second after the lights went out.
Because that just changed up the whole starting order. Post sort of top 7, or post top 5, anyone behind him, it really messed with them, because I think Bottas was straight behind him, so he had to take avoiding action.
Danny Rick had to go off as well.
Yeah.
Danny Rick, because Joe that was Joe's fault as well, but a different incident.
Yeah.
So Joe didn't brake quickly enough into turn 1, so he went into the back of Danny Rick, who went into the back of one of the Alpines, who went into the other Alpine. So we got another Alpine double DNF.
It was
2 weeks on the bounce.
Classic.
It was weird though. I hadn't heard the news. Bolton mentioned actually that the Alfa Romeo, they got, you say, a brand new, what was it?
Full power unit, completely new. So new ICU, new turbos, I think new ERS.
Ollie doesn't know what any of these things are.
I thought an ICU was intensive care unit.
You do work for the NHS, to be fair.
Yeah.
Internal combustion.
No, you're thinking of ICE, internal combustion engine. ICU is like the computer unit or something.
Oh, is it?
I think. I don't know.
No, I think I have confused myself and gone with ICU.
But it was because
sorry, mate. Oh, there we go. Where we go again? Yeah. We've got to that part of the podcast. Couldn't hold myself back anymore.
Yes.
Mike's strategy window open.
Well, because they qualified, Joe was P5, wasn't he? You're horrible.
Sorry, Joe was P5.
Yeah, Joe P5, Bottas P7. Because I had no idea they had a brand new thingy put in. So it was just thingy.
Put thingies
whatever you just
in.
said before.
I still got it wrong, so it doesn't even matter.
Then new engine, basically.
New engine, new power unit, everything.
New drivers.
Yeah.
Maybe.
New drivers, wow. Controversial considering...
No. Joe, I think Joe is alright. They are arguably the second worst car, if not the worst. I mean,
not this weekend.
Well, there's Alfa Romeo, there's Haas, and then there's...
AlphaTauri,
yeah. They're all sort of fighting for worst car at the moment, aren't they?
Well, personally... No, go on.
I was just going to say, it's funny how Bottas ruined a load of people's races at Hungary 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then Joe's done the same as his teammate and ruined a load of people's races.
Imagine if Bottas had done it again, how
my God.
scenes that would be.
I could believe it.
But no, what I was going to say then was...
Hang on.
Good, because I can't remember what I was going to say.
Let the emergency services...
No. It was about the...
What?
He's going to ICU. No, it was about the qualifying. The 11 tyre sets instead of 13 tyre sets, because that's personally why I think Alfa Romeo was slightly better this weekend. So, what do we think of the new quality format?
I don't know.
I actually don't know. Are these specifically going, you have to use hards in Q?
Yeah, hard, mediums and softs, which is odd. I don't know why they brought it. Like, there was nothing wrong with the old format. It's just...
It's sustainability, so they have to bring less tyres to each event.
What's bloody couple of tyres going to do? You know what I mean?
A couple of tyres.
It is.
No, I get it.
It is a bit ridiculous. Like, they're making such thin margins to, you can only warm the tyres up to 40 degrees instead of 70 degrees in the pit lane and shit like that. And I know, all the little things add up, but there's some much bigger changes, which they have kind of done, tried to streamline the calendar a bit
at the end of the day, you're
more.
messing with the fundamentals of Formula 1, aren't you? Because from the new regulations, it's looking like it's literally going to be a very, very electric car. It's going to be... It says they've got 30 kilograms of fuel to charge the electric, whatever that means. But they only have 100 in normally, don't they? 100 kilograms of fuel.
Wait, so they're only allowed a third the amount of fuel they've got at the minute?
According to this, they're not... There was a brief outline of what the regulations are going to be, but obviously they're not. It's not set in stone at the moment. So hopefully they'll take a look at it and think, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But again, it's
Please
the new gearbox, which is we briefly talked about it before, didn't we? But why? They're going from 8 to 6 gears.
Yeah. For context, they're dropping it from an 8-gear gearbox to a 6-gear gearbox, which. We have no formal engineering understanding, but if you've got a car that's not got as many gears, it's running more inefficiently, surely at the top end of the gear
I think this
range
is probably why they're trying to get more electric there, because they're probably not going to be as reliant on it. But.
I think, if nothing else, it'll also... the spectacle is part of, it revs so quickly and they're changing gears so quickly. If they're changing gears left and it's revving, it'll make them feel... Even if they're not slower, it'll give the impression that they're driving slower, because it won't sound like they're revving and changing gear. Feel more like F2. They stay in each gear for longer. Even if it's as quick, it won't feel as... Yeah. But one thing I have heard is they're potentially making the engines a bit noisier, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we touched on that last
week. Yeah. Getting rid of the turbos or something.
God, you can tell it was a boring Grand Prix. We've not even talked about it yet. We've just gone straight on to...
Well, there wasn't really much to talk about, was there? It was just sort of that first corner was kind of the only exciting.
That was it, yeah.
What do you think about Perez? What was his weekend like?
Very good.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't start off very well, did it? We all said on the group chat, didn't we? We were like, he's gone.
In FP1?
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe he did have the pace in qualies, but because I read somewhere that because of the crash, he didn't have this, because of it was the new upgrades for Red Bull. He didn't have the spare part. They couldn't have replaced the parts if he crashed again. So maybe that's why he was taking it a bit easy. I'm not sure. I'm guessing there, but
mate, he shouldn't be in the position where he's crashed in the first place. That's part of the argument.
It was one of them. It's like Horner said. It was just a complete accident. He literally just clipped the thing.
Mate,
it's a rookie error.
It's a rookie error. Yeah, he should not be making that mistake in the best car in the grid. This is one of Verstappen's most dominant weekends. He was 30 plus seconds ahead, and Perez could not even get that P2 position. And I know he started from P9, but he shouldn't have been starting from P9. And even if he was, he should have. If Verstappen started P9, you can pretty much guarantee he'd have won that race.
Yeah, you're right.
He should have at least come P2.
Yeah.
You can't overtake Lando Norris.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But it's good to see him back.
But that's
on the podium,
not as outrageous to say as it used to be, is it?
Yeah, but I get that, but he should be doing it. Verstappen would have done it.
I'm hoping now,
would.
purely for Perez, not for Red Bull. I hope he's recovered mentally from whatever's going on.
Yeah.
He might be back on form. Red Bull's still going to be at the top anyway, but it's nice to see Perez. He's a very good teammate.
Yeah.
Back on top. But
Sorry, mate. Mic window's open again.
Jesus.
Might just fully move it. Actually, can I just clip it to your beard hair?
No.
There you go.
Are we done?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Perez. Talking about Perez.
Nah, I think he had a poor weekend, and I don't think he deserved driver of the day.
Is that a hot take?
Um,
Do you think?
Lando Norris P2. He fended off. He beat all the Ferraris. He beat all the Mercs. He beat one of the Red Bulls. He beat the Astons.
do you know what? Right, this might be a
Yeah,
hot
actually.
take, but I'd say Max Verstappen for driver of the day.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Because we've just got, if that was not
It's just
the
expected now,
norm,
isn't it? Yeah.
then he would have been driver of the day. But he drove so dominantly, he was so perfect, he actually should be driver of the day.
Yeah, mate, you know what? Fair play. It was like that radio message that came up. His race engineer just came on.
Oh,
Saying,
how you doing?
"Right, Max, how are you
Alright.
doing? You okay?"
You got nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
yeah.
enjoying yourself out there.
It was. You're
So
right.
dominant.
He should have deserved it, but it happens every week, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, same car. You're not telling me Perez can get driver of the day when he couldn't even get a P2.
Yeah,
Whereas Verstappen's 30 seconds ahead.
I'm maybe thinking that because of his recent form, seeing him back on podium, maybe swung it towards him.
Yeah,
you know?
it will have done, but
It's recency
Recency
bias.
bias. Yeah.
Like, maybe if Norris wasn't on P2 last week and he'd have driven like he did today, he would have got driver of the day, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
It's because we
Definitely.
already recency bias. We think, Norris, he can get P2s. That's not that impressive.
Yeah, so we were watching the race. It wasn't like that exciting. It's got P2.
yeah.
But it's so good. It's his first ever back-to-back podium, but
Yeah.
obviously back-to-back P2, which is great.
And we said this last time. I think the prestige with getting a P2 podium is so much more than a P3 podium.
Yeah.
Oh, we also said that it's essentially, if Max wasn't here, it'd be P1, wouldn't it? It'd be
Yeah.
back-to-back
Yeah,
P1s,
yeah.
but it's
We
great.
need to actually get an update on that championship
Oh, yeah.
without Verstappen.
We'll have a look at that.
Next pod.
I think Tomo does that.
Yeah.
I'll have a look at it. Let me look at his Twitter.
That's brilliant.
but just-
from him, like, I think it's
Some
genius.
people want to see, yeah.
Yeah.
Just on the podium, one last bit though. Speaking of Lando on the podium,
Yeah.
that him
The trophy.
breaking the trophy,
Yes.
doing his classic, putting the bottle on the floor, he always knocks the trophy off, but
Yeah.
he broke.
Why would you make it? I'm right. That's on Hungary. That is
Yeah,
on,
for making
why-
a porcelain trophy.
What's the point? So what else have we got? There's not really much to talk about. We've got obviously Red Bull's 12th straight win.
Oh yeah, breaking the McLaren record.
And it's going to be like that for the foreseeable. I think it's going to be. That could be like an untouchable record for quite a while, especially
Yeah.
with the cost cap coming down.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to be that, like incredibly
That dominant.
dominant. Yeah.
Well, I guess next record he's going for was it Vettel's 9-win streak?
Yeah.
Is it?
He's on 7, isn't he?
He's on 7, yeah. It made me laugh. Rosberg doing the interviews for him because Rosberg has had 7 wins in a row, and he had to slip in there the fact that I've done 7 wins before, so I guess you're going to beat my record, are you?
Has
Classic.
Hamilton done 7?
No.
He's not.
No.
I thought I didn't hear his name when they were doing it.
I don't know how many he's done actually.
No.
But Hamilton could have broke the record for most number of wins at a circuit today if he hadn't have.
Oh, he's had
bottled the
8.
start.
Is he had 8?
Well, he got it for poles. Most number of poles at one circuit is 8.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and he got that record.
It's 9. So he's got 9 now.
Has he?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And then wins is 8. Could have made it 9 today.
Really?
But
Jesus.
obviously that start, which was very. Should we touch on that? For a
Yeah,
sec?
let's
'Cause
touch on it.
That could have been like. I think that's why we were so hyped up for Hungary because
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton P1, Max P2, Norris P3. It could have been a bloody good start to the race, but Hamilton just fell off.
Yeah.
It's straight away.
I
Like
mean, our
He's
prediction.
got to P4. Was that what it was? That just
Yeah,
Literally.
literally.
Yeah.
Our prediction was that Verstappen, Hamilton, P1 and 2, front row, taking us back to 2021.
Oh,
I won't
he
say
has to
that
get
word.
it.
No.
He's not said it. Actually.
I've not said it. But they have that rivalry going on. We were like, they're going to come together at that first corner. They're going to double DNF. We're going to get a McLaren 1-2. Lando Norris gets his first win. Piastri's on his first podium. But no, we got a boring race instead.
Do you think we could see a Norris win this year? But
Yeah.
only with a Max DNF. Do you think? I think it's very, very doable.
Yeah. I think
That'd be-
exactly that.
That would be class, wouldn't it?
Mate, if that happens...
I'm booking work off for the next day.
Jägermeister shares are going crazy if that happens.
I just remembered actually. We got sort of on the topic of Mercedes. That thing about Russell's radio at the end of it.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, it's for the fake radio.
Oh, mate. Yeah, go
yeah.
on, just explain that.
Well, was he behind?
Chasing the Ferraris.
Yeah,
Just behind
Ferraris.
signs.
Yeah, just behind signs. And he said, what? I can't remember what he said. to be honest.
he said, my tyres are dropping off. I need to seriously consider pitting.
Oh, it's with 6 laps to go.
Yeah.
that was it,
And
yeah.
we were like, that's the worst call in the history of F1. He's going to drop outside of the points. It was just so stupid. And then I think, so Sainz was backing off to give Leclerc a 5-second gap because he had
penalty,
the 5-second penalty. So he'd stay in the same position. So then Sainz backed off a bit because Ferrari must have heard the Mercedes radio, relayed that to Sainz. Sainz backs off. Russell gives it the beans, overtakes him within a couple of laps, then gets within 5 seconds of Leclerc, makes 2 positions in the dying few laps.
Genius.
That was amazing. Up until you said it though, I was like, what is he doing? But it was like, it was 100% a fake radio.
Because it turned out to be a half decent weekend for Merck and just a terrible weekend for Ferrari. Because
9-second pit stop for
9-second pit stop.
Do you want to talk about your grid rival?
No. Next, what's next on there, mate? Quick.
No, we won't mention grid rival, but Ferrari. We're on Ferrari. Not only the strategy, but there was that bloody Leclerc pit stop. Was it
9.7
9 seconds? Oh my
there were a
goodness.
few slow pit
He had
stops.
to use a second gun, didn't he?
I don't know. I was just, what are they doing?
Who else had the slow one as well?
Alonso had one.
Alonso had one. But then we also had the quickest pit stop of the season.
1.9, wasn't it?
Well, we had a McLaren 2.0, which we thought was mad for Lando.
Piastri?
Was it Piastri?
No, it was Lando because Piastri pitted first in the first round, didn't he?
Yeah.
And we were like, 2.3.
Quickest of the season, and then Red Bull, of course, they have to one-up anyone who gets near them, go for that 1.9.
Silly that, isn't it?
That was for Perez as well, wasn't it?
We were just hoping and praying when Max went into to do his last pit. We were all saying, just mess it up. He's making a bit interesting, and he still finishes 33 seconds ahead.
It's insane, isn't it?
It's madness, isn't it? You wouldn't you'd expect him to just lap everyone at some point, wouldn't you? Like, there's going to be a race at some point.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he's only young in his career. I mean, he's only young. He's had 7 years in F1, but he's only 25, 26.
not even, I don't think.
Not even in his prime.
I think he's 26, 25, 25.
Is he?
Mid-20s.
Our age, basically.
Oh, let's not talk about that. That's so sad.
The viewers are probably watching and being like, "Fucking hell, I thought you two were like 18 or something."
Say, I got ID today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got served and you didn't.
On the 0% stuff.
Leave that bit out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Here's a big talking point of the week. Well, it's been like this for the past 2 weeks since Nick De Vries got kicked out of
Yes.
Danny Rick out driving Yuki Tsunoda.
That's an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting one to the end of the season for them too, because they're basically competing for that second Red Bull seat now.
Yeah, they are.
That's if it becomes there's 3 people competing for 1 seat, which is pretty exciting.
The best seat as well. Well, arguably the worst seat actually, because you'll never win a championship in it.
Yeah.
But I think
Do you reckon it's that set in stone that Perez is going?
No, mate, he's contracted next year.
That's why I'm saying 3.
Oh right, okay.
Just because he's going to still be like competing for it, but he needs to make sure he's on it.
Do you think you put a Yuki and a Danny Rick on the Red Bull seat? Do you reckon they'll be as good of a teammate as Perez is? Because I imagine Yuki will be trying to go for it, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Yuki's got to go in there potentially when Verstappen's no longer a consideration.
Yeah.
Which is 2028.
Let's put it this way.
Jesus.
Perez is only a good teammate because he's simply not as quick as Max.
Yeah.
Because at the start of the season, when he was as quick as Max for like 4 races...
You don't want to talk about Abu Dhabi 2021?
Yes, mate. Tell me about it.
But yeah,
no, go on. When he was,
when he was as quick as Verstappen, he was straight up coming out and saying, "I'm fighting for this championship." So he is not...
This season, you mean?
Yeah. So he is not saying, I am coming here to be the wingman. But because he's slower, he just has to be the wingman. Whereas Danny Rick would come in, and he would obviously fight for that championship.
Yeah, why do you think he left in the first place, kind of thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
he did say that it's weird, like, people are overlooking the fact that he's just gone to AlphaTauri. They're already saying, to get Danny Rick in the Red Bull.
Oh, yeah.
But even Danny Rick said himself, he's not really talked about this week, been talking about AlphaTauri, like, that much. That's not in the headlines. He's saying, it'd be a dream to go back to Red Bull.
Yeah.
It's like, you just got to AlphaTauri, mate.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
You're not even on a race. It's just, but...
Bit of kick in the teeth to AlphaTauri, that, isn't it? You know, a driver coming to your... You've given them a second chance, and he said, I don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
But...
No, it's interesting, but there were also a couple of people on Twitter saying... Because he did, obviously, he finished higher than him, Danny Rick, but did something go on with the AlphaTauri strategy or something like that? Apparently, people were saying that he messed up Tsunoda's pits, or I can't remember what happened, but...
Yeah, because obviously Danny Rick did get shafted at the start.
Yeah.
Obviously, Zhou went into the back of him, and then Danny Rick ended up last. So that was a bit unlucky for him. But then Danny Rick obviously did end up finishing 2 places higher than him. So I think something must have happened to Tsunoda for that to be the case. But I think they both had a decent weekend, but they both had
it wasn't bad, actually.
relatively unlucky weekends.
What was it, 13th and 15th? Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Which I think is okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll need a couple more races to kind of understand a bit more, but...
Again, like, obviously there was the Alpine thing, but people were saying all week that Danny Rick's gone to the worst car.
Yeah,
and then did 13th and 15th, which is not bad. Obviously, there was only 17 places to get with Sargent out as well.
What a rookie mistake.
To retire on the last lap as well. Like, so bizarre.
Yeah. Just spinning the car. He must have damaged it or something, because you just wouldn't retire it, surely.
Christ knows.
Because this might affect our predictions, because a last place doesn't count if someone
retires.
And we've now not got De Vries or Sargent in this week's...
K-Mag lost, didn't he?
Who?
K-Mag was last. Yeah, he was, because he was like 30 seconds behind.
I mean,
I'd say K-Mag.
Haas had a very, very quiet weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, it wasn't.
They're just filling a spot at the minute.
Nothing to shout about. They're probably the next team to go, to be honest.
What if
someone's going to go in?
What if Andretti just buys
Well, they've tried to buy teams, mate, and no one's willing to sell. Like, one of the teams, I can't remember which one it was, might have been AlphaTauri, was looking to sell like 4 or 5 years ago for 350 mil. And like you said before, they're now valued at like $1 billion.
Jeez.
So if you'd have bought in at 350 mil, you are laughing.
If you've got 350 mil.
Yeah. Well, with my Aston Martin.
Wait, what? I thought you were going to say something, sorry.
No,
I'm just looking at stuff to talk about because it wasn't very exciting.
But should we do the predictions?
Let's go predictions.
Wait, just want to laugh at Ferrari first.
A bit more.
That's literally it. There's nothing else to talk about. But yeah, predictions. We'll go straight to predictions. Oh wait, wrong page. Oh, fuck, wrong page again.
Wait, actually, I thought of someone's race we've not talked about who I think is worth covering just slightly. George Russell. Started 18th because of bad luck in qualifying and ended up
6th.
Yeah, in front of both Ferraris. I think that's a pretty respectable result.
That could even be driver of the
day.
day.
Yeah, actually,
that is. I think that really went under the radar.
Yeah,
for me,
that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Whether that be because what tyres did he start on? Was he on?
No, he started on hards.
Oh, he started on
hards.
hards.
I think him and Perez both on hards.
Because I think it was part the team's fault, part his fault, part unlucky. The fact that he did qualify
so much traffic.
18th.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have played it differently, but from 18th, I think that's a respectable result in that car.
Definitely.
Bearing in mind, Hamilton started pole and only finished 2 places ahead of him. So,
must be good.
Well done, George Russell.
Yeah, well done, George. It must be good for Hamilton doing P1. I think he says it's one of his favourite tracks as well. It's just having such a bad start.
Yeah. But it's just now pure acceptance that McLaren, the customer team, are fully quicker than you on pace.
Yeah, which is
like
outrageous.
Lando, who started behind you, finished ahead of you with the same engine.
What would you say before we go on to the predictions? Who are the top 5 quickest cars currently as of Hungary? Who have you got Red Bull at the top?
Red Bull, McLaren. Mercedes. Then it gets tough after that.
So I had to go Red Bull, McLaren.
I don't know about Aston Martin, you know. I don't know.
Mercedes.
I don't know about Aston Martin.
Ferrari. I'd say Ferrari and Aston Martin are kind of level for me at the minute.
On the past 2 races, Ferrari are quicker than Aston Martin. Only by the past 2 races.
The difficult thing with working out whether Aston Martin are quicker than Ferrari is that Aston Martin have only got one top quality driver, whereas Ferrari have 2.
We could do a whole video on that.
We probably will at some point.
Yeah, probably will.
Wait, no, actually, Aston Martin said, "Love you, Stroll. You are doing
Yeah.
it." Yeah. Keep up the good work.
Just sack your son. That's all we need to do.
Yes. Should we do the predictions, boys?
Let's
Please.
do it.
Okay. Should we start with Daly?
Okay.
For fastest lap, we put Lando. I think we were riding off the high of his Silverstone podium, weren't we?
Yeah. Well,
He did something
good shout, but
yeah.
no, it was.
He had a few fastest laps throughout, didn't he?
Was it Verstappen that got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fastest lap, yeah, Lando. Fastest pit, he said Red Bull, which is a point. Win, Max.
Yes, 2 points.
Foot loss, Nick De Vries. He's probably was his biggest loser that week. But unfortunately, no points. Driver of the day, Hamilton.
Ooh.
And for surprise, you put Piastri beat Lando, which I don't think was a bad
Do
shout.
you know
at
what?
the
It's
time.
not a bad shout. Yeah.
Not a bad shout at the time. So you got 2 points
2
there.
points,
Mate.
I'll take that.
Bolton, fastest lap. I don't know what you put. I just put the letter M down.
M.
Fastest lap. Oh, Max. I'm assuming it'll be Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
We'll go back and check that. I'm
So
pretty
1
sure that's
point.
right.
I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah. One fastest pit, McLaren. Win, Lando Norris.
Ooh.
Is that what I said?
Yeah. Close.
Well, in our championship, the way we're looking at it, you won, didn't
Yeah.
Loss, Logan Sargent.
it? So close.
Yeah, very, very close. Driver of the day, Lando.
Again, close.
And there's another very close one. You put surprise, Lewis Hamilton podium. Yeah,
You could have got. You were so close to getting a full house there.
that was
But
close.
What did you get? 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point. So you winning at the moment.
Can I just say that there was a Lewis Hamilton surprise.
Pole.
I just should have never specified what surprise that was.
yeah.
What did I put?
So I know what to do on this week's prediction.
Yeah.
Fastest lap. I don't actually know because I just wrote down fastest lap.
FL.
Lad,
I'm not good at this, am I?
what's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Fernando Alonso.
Oh no, it was Alonso. I did guess Alonso actually.
Fernando
Lonzo.
Right, no, that's what's wrong. Fastest pit, McLaren.
No.
Win, Perez. But I think because I picked Max the week before.
Yeah,
so I don't know, that was
yeah.
it. Loss, Hulk.
Okay.
The wrong Haas. Driver of the day. Let's not talk about that.
Who? Leclerc.
Esteban Ocon.
Lad, he didn't even drive.
How much did I have to drink last week?
He drove about 100 metres and then he retired.
What was I thinking here? Then surprise, I put Ocon top 5. Oh my gosh.
That would have been a surprise.
I think there was something in the air last weekend.
Right, next week. Where are we next week?
Oh,
we're at
we're at
Spa.
Spa. We're at
Spa
Spa.
next week. In what you said is
Oh,
looking
yeah,
to be a
check-
rainy weekend.
Check the weather forecast. All weekend it's saying.
It's
Friday,
like-
Saturday, Sunday rain.
So George Russell might be one to look out for. Repeat of 2021.
Who wants to start? Anyone?
Go on, you can start, Bolton.
Fastest lap?
Fastest lap. I'm going to go with... did I do Max for last week?
You did.
Lando Norris.
Ooh. Fastest pit?
Red Bull.
Red Bull. Win?
Lando Norris.
No! Wait, you did him this week?
No, I did Max.
No, you did Norris.
Did I?
Yeah. So you can't actually do Norris this time around.
Max then.
Fuck's sake.
Lance Stroll.
Well, it was at Spa last year where he won by like...
You just put Lance Stroll.
Who's losing it?
Who's losing it?
Lance Stroll.
Yeah, could do.
K-Mag.
K-Mag.
Yeah, mate, that's a shout.
K-Mag. Driver of the day.
Lando.
You put him last week.
I'll go with Oscar Piastri.
Ooh.
Wow.
Biggest surprise, I'd state your reasons.
Oscar Piastri. Podium.
Ooh.
Piastri podium.
Thing is, that one's kind of funny because it wouldn't really surprise me, but it would be a surprise.
It'd be great to see, wouldn't
It would be, yeah, and I'll give it you, it would be a surprise, but it also wouldn't surprise me, if you get what I'm saying.
I think just about.
Yeah. Right, what am I saying then?
Fastest lap?
Fastest lap.
Yeah, I see you last week.
Who did I say last week?
Said Norris.
Max.
Fastest pit?
McLaren.
It's going to be a lot of Red Bull McLaren, isn't it? Win?
It's definitely going to be Max, but I'm going to say... Well, I think I said Max last week, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Lando.
Yeah, can't give it Lando.
Lando Norris. Loss?
Ricardo.
Actually, I might change my surprise.
2.
I'll let you finish and then I'll...
Oh, right, sorry. Driver of the day?
Lando, because if he's winning, he's definitely getting driver of the day.
Yeah.
Lando. And your surprise?
Lando winning.
Oh my gosh.
No. Max not winning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Max not winning. What are you going to cheat? That's a good list.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that.
Well, that is, Max will win though, that's the problem.
Yeah,
this is the race last year, didn't he start 14th and then still win by like 30 seconds?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to qualify 14th this time though.
No.
Unless it goes really bad. But what are we going to change yours to?
My surprise, I'm going to change to a Lance Stroll. Top 5 quality.
Ooh.
Lance.
Well,
wait, top 5 quality?
I'll give you that. It's not going to happen, but I'll give it to you.
Top 5 quality.
You never know.
Well.
He put it on pole in Turkey in 2020. In rainy conditions.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Then fucked it.
Let me get this right.
Cool.
So, on a circuit which is all about high speed and high speed corners, you're backing a car that is really good at low speed and low speed agility, and terrible at high speed corners. Yeah, you've locked it in now. Let's.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Fastest lap, I'm going to say. I might go either, but I might go Norris. Norris.
We are such nice fans, aren't we?
We are. Fastest pit.
What?
I said.
Who?
I'm going to. Red Bull.
So boring.
Red Bull. It is, isn't it? It's just like the season, really. Win. Max. Loss. Sargent. What do you go, Sargent? I don't know. Williams are fast, aren't they? On straights. Nah, he's got to lose. Driver of the day. Gives a hint.
Stroll. De Vries.
I don't know. I'm not going to go Ocon again. I don't know what that was about. Driver of the day. Carlos Sainz. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
You're just throwing...
I am. Surprise. The surprise will be Carlos Sainz, driver of the day.
That would be one hell of a surprise, mate.
Mate, imagine if I get it right. And that's our predictions done for the week.
Excellent.
So yeah,
Until next week.
Mixed emotions Hungarian Grand Prix, I think, this weekend.
It did have the makings of a good race, didn't it? But
mate, I enjoyed the weekend. Like, we had Hamilton on pole, which was high. We had McLaren's up there, and I'm still happy with the race results. I think it was still.
Yeah, the race results have been good.
Wasn't that exciting, but I'm happy with it.
It was a steady, solid.
Yeah.
Haul of points for our boys.
Yeah.
The boys in Papaya.
Onwards to next week's for another week of Max dominance.
Oh yeah. Well, we've got hopefully obviously it's like an all-time classic in Spa, maybe rain as well. But because I'm on holiday, we might have to release it on the Monday or the Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't know what time I get back. So another video coming. Plenty of shorts.
Plenty of shorts.
Plenty of TikToks. What else have we got? That's really it.
That's it, I guess.
Tweets.
Yeah.
Following us on Twitter.
DRS F1 Podcast.
On all socials.
No.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Oh, we don't have Instagram.
No.
Oh, fair enough.
We
Yeah.
don't have Facebook.
Oh, right, yeah.
No, we don't have Twitch.
Threads.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
On a very few, the small minority of social platforms.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, hope for a good race, boys.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thanks for
Till
watching.
next week.
Thanks a lot.
Love you.
See you.